Hi everyone, and thank you for watching. My name is Monica Mayorga, and I'm the Administrative Director for the VMS Family LEAD and VSF programs. And today I'm going to show you how to make DIY chalk paint. So let's get started. So first, the items that you will need for this project are plaster of Paris, water, some acrylic paint, a brush, and a mixing container. Now I'm going to be making a vase for today's tutorial out of this glass jar. However, chalk paint can actually be used on many surfaces, and it's especially good on wood. So when we get to the end of the tutorial, I will show you a couple of other of the projects that I've done just to give you an idea of how creative you can get with the chalk paint. So the recipe is pretty simple. It's 1 part plaster of Paris, 1 part room temperature water, and then you're going to stir that mixture completely until it's smooth. You only want to make as much paint as you'll think you will use, because it actually is not going to store very well for later. So you'll probably want to start small and make additional batches as you go. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but it's important that we use room temperature water when we're mixing that. And we're just going to keep mixing that until it's well blended. Next, we are going to add the 3 parts acrylic paint. Now, for this video, I used eggshell with a little bit of a shimmer, but you can actually feel free to go as bold as you'd like with the color. I do know, however, that the white color of the plaster of Paris is going to dilute that boldness a little bit. So if you're looking for something that is bright, just keep that in mind when you're selecting a paint. You may want to go a little bit brighter or bolder than you want that finished product to look. So we're just going to finish mixing that. Okay. And we're going to start with painting our first coat. Now in this video I just did 2. You can do 3. You can actually do more. It just depends on the color that you're looking for. And then we're just going to allow it to dry completely when we're finished painting. Now I've got 2 types of paint brushes here. You don't really need one specific, just whatever tool you're more comfortable with. I use this little foam paintbrush, and then you'll see I use a little bit later just a regular standard paintbrush. So I've noticed that the foam paintbrushes can get a larger amount on for that initial coat. And then when I'm wanting to smooth out some of the second or even a third coat, I will use the paintbrush. Okay. And then after that's dried, we're going to go ahead and paint the second coat and let it dry. And as I mentioned before, if we need to repeat that, go ahead and repeat it. Just let it dry, see what it looks like, and then you can continue from there if needed. So this is what the finished product looks like. As you can see, I did add a little bow to it, put some flowers in it just to show you how pretty it can be. And then, as I mentioned before, here are some other projects that I've done: the dining room chairs, the headboard, and then of course more glass jars. So for the chairs and the headboard, in addition to the supplies that I told you, you'll also need to use a sandpaper to just smooth down those surfaces in between coats. And then a finish, and that is because the finish is for, if you're going to be sitting or those are like high touch areas like the headboard, you're just going to want to make sure that that chalk paint is not chipping off or coming off on those materials. So you don't have to use these particular finishes or sandpaper. The sandpaper does need to be between 180 and 220 grit at the most. And you can actually also do sandpaper in between the coats of the vase that we did For a more polished finish look, I just happen to like the kind of rustic, messy, choppy look on that with a little bit of distress. So that's what I showed you, but just play around with it, do what you like, make it yours. And that is pretty much it. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.